So wanted to make a video about Wells Fargo and what's going on with that situation. The Wells Fargo pruning of these credit accounts, or these line of credit accounts, is nothing new. Washington Mutual, or WAMU back in the day, did the same thing to myself when I had a credit card with them, and they cut off a line of credit that I had. One day I just walked into the store and the card just wouldn't work. And when I called, they said the line of credit was closed. Now, to be honest, or to be fair, I wasn't in a great situation. This is around 2008, 2009, like when all the housing market and everything crashed. On that card, maybe I had like, say, a $1,500 limit. I would be at the limit, put $100 on there, and then, after fees and all this other stuff, you can get to use like $90 available for credit. I would use those $90. So I was horrible with it. Damn bug. I was horrible with it. So I wasn't a person that was in good credit standing in terms of, high credit utilization, and also somebody that had a continuous revolving balance. So this is something that happens quite often. Now, or in terms of like pruning when things go wrong. What this should act as is a bellwether, because right after that, we had our, a very bad slump in our economy. It was, the housing market crash, everything started to come down. And then, of course, subsequently into 2009, 2010, when everything really started to show up. So what this should serve as to people is a warning or a bellwether, saying that, hey, this is going, there's something on the horizon that we may not be able to see, but it's coming. This is an issue. This is why you should always have a reserve or some type of extra money put aside, something in a highly liquid asset. So, for instance, Dave Ramsey always says, one of his baby steps, or the first baby step, I think, is like saving $1,000. Now, that's not hard for everybody. Sorry for like the lighting, but that's not hard for everybody. That's not easy for everyone. For some people, that's not hard at all. Thankfully, because, I work a lot and I have a higher paying job during the day, this is not that hard for me. But, having that surplus is very important. Case in point, today, I got a damn overdraft fee because I miscalculated on my budget, and my mortgage payment came out, and I forgot that I put more on top of it to keep up my... because I try to pay at least 2 extra payments a year. So what I do is I split 2 payments worth for the mortgage note across 12 months, and that equals to like $160 something now. But I forgot that I made the change, and it was just stupid of me, and it caused an overdraft, so I have to deal with that. But one, I don't have a surplus in that account. I don't have like extra reserves or anything, because I like to take my money, invest my money. So I invested in liquid assets and highly liquid assets. There's a difference, and I'll tell you how that works. But they're still considered liquid assets. So I was like, damn, where am I going to find this money? It's like $27. I was like overdraft by $27. Usually what I do is I have at least $100 reserve in that account, because I'll use my credit cards and then just pay that off every month, and then invest all my disposable income. Like, I have no extra money left. I put it all in investments. Now, this is to my detriment as of today, because I had no surplus in the account, so I was negative $27. Now, what I did is it would take me a while to get it out of, say, my regular trading account, my general investing account. So it's like, okay, well, I'd have to sell an asset or something like that to do that. And it's like, well, okay, that's a liquid account. I can do that, but I would get the money in probably about a week or so. Then we look at highly liquid accounts, cryptocurrencies, Coinbase. I looked at my Coinbase, boom, I had like 45. After fees and everything else like that, I liquidated $40, I think, of Algorand or something like that. And by fees and instant transfers and all this other stuff, like little instant transmission stuff. So like Coinbase did an instant transmission into my account of like $35 after fees and everything. And by the end of the week, I'll put that money back in there, because I already know that I'm going to have a surplus with this week's like check from my night job. So it's like I have highly liquid assets to where I can have money in minutes. I can have a couple $1,000s in minutes. I can liquidate all my crypto, or most of my cryptocurrencies except for Ethereum too, and have that money within minutes. So it's like when you look at things like that and you're doing things like that and you're putting yourself in that position where there are pros and cons to the way I approach investing and what I'm doing in terms of reserves. The pro is it's like a high yield savings account. The con is it's like a high yield savings account but with like crazy volatility, or that high yield savings account has crazy volatility. So I could actually be selling at a loss. I mean, that's what happens. So when you look at, I was listening to another report, or a report about Wells Fargo, which is what we're talking about, right? One guy was saying, you know, I was using that to float myself throughout the months just in case any like big things come up. And I'm like, I feel you. I've done this before, but like you need to have 2 or 3 of those. Either, you know, credit cards, savings, high yield, like not high yield savings, like savings, highly liquid assets. Like you need to have 2 or 3 of those lines, because unless you have that cash, you know, in a savings account, a regular savings account, or even a high yield savings account, then there's no cushion for you at all. So anyways, with all that being said, because I got to get back to work and scrape the bark off these trees. You know, try and keep a reserve. If you cannot keep a reserve, or you do not like to keep a reserve because you want to put your dick in the dirt, just put all the money in the market, like me. Then have something in highly liquid assets, something that you can actually cash out of within minutes and have it in your bank account. Whether that be cryptocurrencies or anything else, or even just regular liquid assets where it takes maybe about a week after settling and everything like that for them to transfer money into your account. If not, you know, of course, a regular savings. But to be honest, if you're having a regular savings right now, sadly, it's just not to your benefit. It's actually to your detriment over a long period of time. But you might want to take that loss, because then if you be like somebody like me, where I would have to sell an asset even at a loss, I think it was like a couple of pennies or something like that in terms of like the difference. So I would have to sell this asset at a loss just so I can cover myself. So like these are the risks. This is like the trade-off that I actually have to deal with myself. Alrighty, with that being said, you know, if you're not taking what I say with a grain of salt, then you're low on sodium. Thanks for always listening, and I hope this information helps you all in terms of your mindset. Peace.